Hello, my dear students. Welcome to Vignan's Foundation for Science, Technology and Research, deemed to be University. I, Dr. M.B.K. Srivani, Associate Professor from the Department of Sciences and Humanities, present here to discuss about the remaining topics of environmental pollution. Let me discuss about soil pollution. How can you say the soil is said to be polluted? If its fertility is lost or if its productive potential is lost, then we can say the soil is said to be degraded. There is a definition here, that is, soil pollution can be defined as the contamination of the soil system by considerable quantities of chemicals or other substances resulting in the reduction of its fertility with respect to quantitative and qualitative yield of crops. In simple sentence, we can say contamination of the soil quality or degradation of the soil quality by the addition of chemicals or other substances that reduces its fertility, that can be called as soil pollution. See, these are the pictures of soil pollution, how the quality of the soil is degraded due to various reasons. See, this picture shows pesticide spraying in farms. That also affects the quality of the soil, which leads to soil pollution. Look this picture, all of you, how the waste is dumped on the soil. That degrades the quality of it. Now, this is the waste which is dumped on the land, plastic, paper, cardboard. These are all examples. What are the sources? Here you have to explain natural sources and man-made sources. See, natural sources means naturally how the soil quality is affected. You can give example, floods or cyclones, volcanic eruption, earthquakes, excretory material or the waste material. So that affects the quality of the soil naturally. These are the man-made sources. The first one is industrial waste. Release of wastes, different types of chemicals from the factories or industries are dumped on the land that affects its quality. Agricultural waste, the second one. Addition of fertilizers or pesticides on the soil that also affects its quality. Next, radioactive waste. Disposal of radioactive wastes in the soil or dumping of radioactive waste in the soil. Sometimes if the air is polluted with radioactive materials, that also affects the quality of the soil. Next, domestic and municipal wastes. Without any treatment, if you dump, it degrades the quality of soil. Other activities like mining and constructional activities, construction of road, dam, bridge, it also affects the soil and its quality. Soil erosion. It is one of the major problem which takes approximately 200 years to replenish back. That is removal of topmost layer of soil. Next one, disposal of soil. We have to take precautions during disposal of solid waste or any other waste in the soil. These are the man-made sources or anthropogenic sources of soil pollution. Now, let us see the effects of soil pollution. If the quality of the soil is affected, what happens? It loses its fertility. If it loses its fertility, it results in decrease of crop production. Agriculture wastes may result in eutrophication of waters. See, if the soil quality is affected, it may result in water pollution because along with water which is present in the soil, that run off and mix and join in rivers or lakes, that also affects the quality of water. So soil pollution also leads to water pollution. Okay, so here that is the reason agricultural wastes may result in eutrophication of water as well as some of the diseases like blue baby syndrome. I told you in water pollution, eutrophication means more nutrients, excess nutrients in the water body. One of the problem that is algal bloom, excess growth of algae which blocks light penetration. I told you. I also told you about blue baby syndrome. Nitrate pollution. Nitrate, it enters into the body, converts into nitrite and interferes with the hemoglobin and forms methemoglobin, I told you. Okay, that is the problem. Radioactive wastes which are dumped in the soil may result in cancer and genetic changes. Municipal and domestic wastes may contain pathogenic microbes. This may result in various diseases, maybe bacterial disease, viral disease, and also fungal diseases. Some flora and fauna. Flora means plants, I told you. Fauna, animals. They are adversely affected. Chemicals from industrial wastes, they may result in different types of diseases. Maybe nose diseases, kidney diseases, and large number of birth defects in the children. Depending upon the type of the chemical, we get diseases. What are the control measures of soil pollution? Control the use of fertilizers and pesticides. So if you apply more fertilizers and pesticides, it affects the quality of the soil, I told you. So better you control this usage of pesticides and fertilizers or go for any other alternative. Next, control soil erosion. If the topmost layer of soil is washed away, to replenish back it takes 200 years minimum, I told you. And it consists of humus. So the soil quality completely affected if the soil erosion is not controlled. Reforestation. Whatever the forests are there, they were degraded. Better go for conservation and do reforestation. Okay, so you grow some plants in the forest and bring back the forest to its natural state. Rules and regulation on the industries to dump their waste. Of course, there are many rules and guidelines are there. Everybody should follow the guidelines while dumping the waste or disposing the waste in the soil. Industries and domestic wastes should be treated before dumping them into the soil. Same like water pollution. Whatever the effects and control measures are there in water pollution, they are also repeated in soil pollution. Radioactive wastes should be properly disposed of or dumped off so as to prevent the escape of radiations from it. Better to use biopesticides, manure or compost in the agriculture that increase the fertility of the soil instead of using artificial fertilizers and chemicals. Develop awareness among the people about the soil pollution and its consequences. So definitely they take some measures to eradicate the problem permanently. These are some of the references which I have taken from the website and they were acknowledged. These two are the references. Now coming to the other topic, that is radioactive pollution and nuclear hazards. In your syllabus, nuclear hazards is there. Okay, so I will just give you the definition of radioactive pollution and what are the effects of radioactive pollution. The same you can repeat. Nuclear hazards and radioactive pollution effects both are same. Now you can see the definition. What is radioactive pollution? Listen, the air may be contaminated with radioactive waste. water may be contaminated, soil may be contaminated. So all these can be contaminated with radioactive waste and causes pollution. That's why how you will define nuclear pollution or radioactive pollution is a special form of physical pollution related to all life supporting systems, air, water and soil. Because all these air, water and soil are contaminated with radioactive waste. Naturally, how the radioactive pollution is caused? Ores present in the earth that causes natural pollution. Cosmic dust from the space. These are some of the examples of radioactive materials. Radon, radium, uranium, uranium-235, uranium-239, radon-222, radium-26. So these are some of the examples of natural sources of radioactive pollution. Now, what are the man-made sources of radioactive pollution? So these you can write causes of radioactive pollution or causes of nuclear hazards. Right? Let me tell you. The first one, research activities. Second one, radiation therapy. Third one, nuclear reactors. Fourth one, nuclear weapons. Next, accidental release of nuclear material from power plants. Mining. Mining also releases radioactive substances into the atmosphere and degrades the quality of the air, water as well as land. Let me discuss nuclear weapons. I think you already learned in intermediate or in your school. During the Second World War, the atomic bomb, that is the name Little Boy, was dropped on August 6, 1945 over Hiroshima. And another atomic bomb named Fat Man on August 9, 1945, it was dropped over Nagasaki. So, because of these atomic bombs, resulted in large destruction to plants, animals and human beings. Next, nuclear reactors. Nuclear power stations release the radioactive materials into the air and water in small amounts, even to harm the environment. Even though the little quantity of these substances are released, they causes deleterious effects. Research activities. The people, those who handle this C14, P35, iodine, okay, cesium. So these are used in research and development activities. If these enters the environment, they result in large scale destruction to the living organisms. So we have to handle properly during research. Radiation therapy. People exposed to X-rays and radiation therapy as a part of their treatment. So this also causes radioactive pollution. So we have to take proper measures during these therapies. Burning effect. What are the causes of burning effect? Blisters are formed on the skin. Blisters means the outer layer of the skin is removed and the serum is accumulated. Fluid, water-like structure is accumulated, you can write. Blisters means the layers of the skin is removed and some fluids are accumulated in it, that is blister. Reddening, and it harms to the skin tissue. It is different when compared to normal burns. Especially I am talking about chemical burns. Actually, this point you can write in effects. Now, effects of nuclear hazards. What are the effects? I told you, even the small release of radioactive materials can cause us effects seriously. They can reduce immune response. Hemorrhage means loss of blood. I told you, skin burns, mouth ulcers, etc. These are the effects of nuclear hazards. The radiations may break the chemical bonds between the DNA in the cells. So this is the problem which results in genetical defects. It affects the genetical makeup and control mechanisms and we result in different types of cancer. Exposures at low doses of radiations. Say rad means units of this radiation. Okay, 100 to 250 rads. If you are exposed to 100 to 250, we won't die, but we suffer from vomiting. Nausea means distaste and loss of hair. We can recover afterwards. Okay, suppose if we are exposed to 400 to 500 rads, what happens? Our bone marrow is affected, our blood cells are reduced and blood fails to clot. If it continues, this is one type of cancer may develop. Suppose if you are exposed to high radiation, that is 10,000 rads, what will happen? The organism will die by damaging the tissues of heart and the brain, and we immediately die. If you are exposed to high irradiation, that is 10,000 rads at a time. Workers handling these radioactive wastes, they develop different types of cancer, blood cancer, any cancer. Okay, depending upon the chemical, different types of the cancers are developed. Food chain, that means this also passes in food chain, means this also enters or accumulates from one organism to other organism. Through food chain, the radioactivity materials effects are experienced by man. See, this is an example. 3 Mile Island in United States of America, Pennsylvania. You can write United States of America. Okay, I will give you assignment, case study. Write case study for 3 Mile Island accident in 1979. So this is Chernobyl nuclear accident in the year 1986. So you can also write this case study as assignment. So control measures, what we can do to control this radioactive pollution: proper handling of radioactive waste or disposal of radioactive waste. Workers should wear protective garments and take proper precautions while handling these radioactive substances. Leakage from nuclear reactors should be controlled. Accidents, better avoid accidents in nuclear power plants. Careful monitoring of radioactive disposal sites. These are some of the control measures. Later we go for assignment. I told you to write Chernobyl nuclear accident case study. Next, 3 Mile Island accident. From the website, some of the reference that I have taken from the website, they were acknowledged. Thank you for listening this lecture. Noise pollution I completed. Soil pollution and radioactive pollution I completed in this lesson. Okay. Now coming to the other one, that is air pollution. One of the most important, and we mostly give preference to air pollution. What is the reason why we give more preference to air pollution and we always talk about air pollution? Because every day we breathe nearly about 22,000 times and inhales approximately 15 to 22 kgs of air. So that much air we take and that many times we breathe. That's why the impact of air pollution on man, we always talk. Okay? What is the definition? Whatever definition you learn in school or college, you write the definition. I can tell you, air pollution is basically the presence of foreign substances in the air in excessive concentration that adversely affect the well-being of the individual and its surroundings. This is one definition. You can simply write presence of impurities in the air or presence of foreign substances present in the air. If they increase its concentration, the foreign substance, their concentration becomes excess, they cause effect. Why I am talking concentration becomes excess only, it is causing effect? because there is no zero pollution on earth. Everywhere there is pollution. You can write the secondary definition even. What is this? It can be defined as presence of impurities in excessive quantity and duration to cause adverse effects on plants, animals, human beings and materials. That means it is affecting environment. Both living and non-living components are affected by air pollution. Clear? Now you can see this is an example of indoor air pollution. Sometimes he will ask you in exam to write indoor air pollution. What examples can you give? Radon. Radon which is released from the tiles, from floor cracks. Radon escapes outdoors. See here in this picture, they are clearly showing here. You can see wall and foundation cracks. The radon comes out, drain pipes and floor cracks. Radon escapes outdoors. And this is one of the best example of indoor air pollution. You can give cigarette smoking inside. You can give even domestic cooking, chlorofluorocarbons as coolants in refrigerators. These all are also the examples of indoor air pollution. Now, let me discuss the sources. Right? Both natural sources and man-made sources of air pollution. Natural sources, volcanic eruption, forest fires, pollen grains or pollen dust. If we inhale, we get problem. Cosmic dust, dust from the space, solid fragment body from the space, that also leads to pollution. Bacteria, fungal spores, bacterial spores, cosmic dust, pollen dust, cotton fibers also you can mention here, natural source of pollution. Volcanic eruption, forest fires. In man-made sources, you write industries. First preference goes to automobiles. Second, industries. Third, some other you can give mining activities, agricultural waste during war, constructional activities. So many examples you can give for man-made sources. See, all of you can see these pictures. These are all pollution, air pollution sources. You can see here forest fires, cooking, domestic cooking. Here they have given cigarette smoking, vehicles. Okay, these are crackers. So all these are the examples of air pollution.